everyone,
Hey.
and welcome to the In the Bloom of It All podcast. My name is Cheyenne Montgomery,
And I'm Tyree Montgomery.
and we want to say
Happy Mother's Day!
So, happy Mother's Day. Today is a really big day. Not only is it Mother's Day, of course, but it is our very first episode, and we're excited we get to share it with you all. Thank you all to our friends and family and everyone else that we've shared this with, and we're excited to actually do this today. Like, it's a long time coming,
Yeah.
and we actually made it. So, in light of all of that, in light of Mother's Day, we wanted to talk about how we got here today. Literally the beginning, the start. You're my mom. So,
I am.
how are we going to bring it all the way back to the beginning? And
Yeah.
how did we get here? So, what happened? What's our history? What is the
Our
backstory?
history, right.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and how I came to be.
Well, I thought it was pretty cool first when the idea was brought to me about doing the podcast. And her idea was to launch it on Mother's Day. So I thought that was really awesome. We often have conversations, and our communication style works so well together that we end up having these really deep conversations.
Yeah.
And getting to see her grow into the woman that she is, to where now I'm actually able to have dialogue with her about real adult things. So I was a teen mom. I found out I was pregnant with Cheyenne when I was 17. I gave birth when I was 18. And through that time, I was learning a lot about myself, and a lot of things that I had planned to do start to suddenly change. I knew I wanted to graduate early and get out of school so that I can get on about being a mom and figuring out what that new chapter looks like. There was a lot of things that were said, and I just want to share a few of those things that were said. I'm going to use my notes. There were statistics that I found that were really startling. And one of those was more than 50% of teen mothers never graduate from high school. Not only did I graduate, but I graduated early with honors. 8 out of 10 teen dads don't marry the mothers of their children. And I'm proud to announce that my husband, her father, celebrated 24 years of marriage this year.
High school sweethearts, people.
Yeah. And another statistic said that children of teen mothers are 50% more likely to repeat a grade and are more likely than children born to older mothers who drop out of high school. Well, that's a lot to say, considering the things that we've both been able to accomplish. Our daughter, Cheyenne here, uh, she holds transcripts for both Syracuse University and New York in creative writing, where she attended at 15. She attended UCLA for photography, and on scholarship, she attended that program during the summer at 17. She graduated from high school with honors, as well as the first to hold a plaque with the most volunteer community service hours. She was fourth in state for her track team. She graduated from U of O with her bachelor's degree. I mean, there's so much to say, but just thinking about it all, it's like we beat the odds.
Yeah.
We're not typical. We don't look like what the statistics said that we would look like. And it just makes me so proud. So that's really huge to me on Mother's Day. But not only that, I do have other children.
Yes, my
I
sisters.
gave birth to 3 amazing daughters, and I'm a bonus mom to a beautiful daughter as well as a son. And God's just been good, allowing us to grow into this being parents as well as alongside. We kind of like grew up together.
Yeah, we did.
I was learning myself as well as how to be a mom. So it's been a lot of grace extended to be able to see where my kids are today and where Cheyenne is today, um, considering the statistics.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I think it's also, there's so much power in like numbers if you give it that power. The fact that we were able to like, I'm here where I'm at today, you know, and like based also everything that you said and the achievements and where we're at, like you've also done so much as well, you know. Though I went to college, you still had created such an amazing career and an entrepreneurial business for yourself and for our family, and to be able to support our family, you know, without taking, I guess you could say, the traditional path or the statistics, and being able to not only uplift us and like show me and my sisters what it's like to be a black woman in society, but also being, you know, who you are to the community and your friends and your family and everyone you've touched and communicate with, you've made an impact. And I don't think there isn't anyone who I haven't talked to or mentioned about you that hasn't had great things to say, you know. And not only is that great for me to see, but it makes me feel good as well, because it's like, you're my mom, of course you're cool, like of course she's great, like obviously, but it does make a difference when you hear that from other people. And you know, just glad that I'm able to do this with you. Like this podcast is a long time coming, but at the same time it's the right timing as well. I think that this landed where we're at the right time, and I'm so excited to see where this takes us.
So she contacted me one evening with this idea.
So I'm like, so what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened?
And I was just like, oh my gosh, the timing was so perfect. I got so excited because, see, I think it was 2014 when I had invested in a community online of entrepreneurs. I was working a job in corporate America with the government, and it was great. Well, it was great, but I always felt stifled. Like I was spending more time at work than I was with my kids. My husband was attending a lot of the things and activities at the school. They called him Mr. D. And when I got to the school, they were like, oh, you're the mom. And I was like, I didn't like the way that felt. So I started exploring, finding different ways to work from home. And I found this community. And I had, along the way, learned about podcasting. So I had came up with this fancy name, and I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And the kids would hear about that over the years. I kept talking about I was going to do this podcast. I was going to do this podcast. And I would do bits and pieces, but I never would quite do it. And I think the biggest concern for me was I going to be able to really provide value? And not only was I going to be able to provide value, but doing it by myself, I would be doing all the things and not really being very confident on camera. You can kind of not tell today. But when she presented this to me, I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I don't have to go it alone. And we have not gone alone in this journey this far. Why not try something like this together and see?
Exactly.
And we just conversate, right?
Exactly. And I was like, we were already having these conversations anyway. Late night conversations, or literally sitting in the car. We get lunch together, having talks with my sisters and just with both of us. And it was just like, dang, we need to be recording this. Like, it's just those moments and those realizations,
dropping
like
gems.
Just gems and just good advice and just laughing. And like, you know, it's not all the time where we're just like more dressed up, but we're like, I'm in my pajamas with my bonnet on, and we're just having a long conversation just about life.
Right.
And, you know, to be able to have that kind of relationship with you, to just bring whatever to you and talk about it and just like really just work through it. And, you know, we may not agree on everything, but then I'm learning something, you're learning something. And it was just like, where's the microphone at? Where's the camera? Like, we need to be recording this, because I felt like we both felt like the stuff that we talk about and we discuss could be so helpful for other people, for other mother and daughters and friends and women and just anyone alike that are also supporting each other, that could probably find value in our regular day-to-day conversations. So when I brought the podcast to her, I was just like, who better else to do this with and not do it alone than to do it with someone who I talk to all the time and who I share so much details about our lives and get so much wisdom and advice from than my mom. So
Facts.
I thought that was gonna be a great idea. And
Yeah.
I was like, I got something to tell you.
And I immediately was like, yes, let's do it.
Exactly. So I was like, you know what, we got this. I was like, between the stuff that we know, production, lighting, cameras, audio, marketing, and how to do everything, we were just like, putting these two heads together, we could definitely make some magic and maybe be a blessing to somebody else who's watching this as well.
So a little bit about our background or what we do in our professional life. Shyann is like totally expert in photography at this point. She got a camera when she was a little girl. They had like these lifetime free film Rolly cameras from Walgreens.
Yeah.
And you can take the pictures and you can just drop them off and you just keep getting more film put into the cameras. So she literally have been doing photography since she was like maybe 3 or maybe younger than that.
Yeah, I remember putting butterfly stickers on it. Like, it's still a very vivid memory of like a little silver camera with like butterfly stickers.
Yeah, so she hasn't put down a camera since. They just got more expensive and more attachments over the years.
That's for sure. They definitely is expensive.
Yeah.
But it was just like combining that passion with your already creativity and making websites and, doing all these really cool, like, creative and digital things where I'm still very new. I know how to edit some photos and some videos, and that's pretty much it. But when it comes to actually designing and color palettes and fonts and creating a brand, I was just like, that's the one I gotta go to.
So we just brought our skill sets together in this, and it seemed like it was just a perfect timing, too.
Yeah.
We both were committed to the idea. We both wanted a creative outlet. And with that being said, she was like, we're not going to tell anybody. Nobody. So nobody knew up until this point what we were doing. Some may have had like an idea that we were doing a project.
Yeah. I was like, I'm doing a project. I got a project with my mom. Like, I'm not available between this hour and this hour. And they were like, project? What project? And I'm like,
you'll find out on Mother's Day.
You'll find out. And so today is that very day, Mother's Day. And what better way to do this and to launch it to everyone else? A mother-daughter podcast duo sharing gems and information about blooming and growing in this world that we live in. Then right here with y'all on Mother's Day.
And we don't perceive to be experts at anything.
Oh, by no means.
I am still learning and growing as well as Shyann is. But this is from our perspective, our journey and our truths. And I think that can bring great value, like she said, to other people. When you go through things, and one of my firm beliefs is that a lot of the challenges that you go through and the things that you experience, it's not yours alone to harbor those experiences, especially when you come out on the other side. But your story is not yours alone. It's to help other people. So
for sure. 100% agree.
So that's definitely what we want to do here. Yes. And we want you guys to join in the comments and tell us your thoughts about this episode and what you would like to hear from us. And
we'll be diving into a bunch of different topics, I'm sure, talk about like generational cycles and, growing up, just as a kid, what was it like growing up with a bunch of sisters? Shout out to y'all. If you have sisters, you know. But also, just being a role model. What is it like just being, Black women, and like being strong versus wanting to be soft. And so we'll be tapping into a bunch of stuff, I'm sure.
And then from my own experiences, like even now today, many people have come to me over the years. I've also done panels on these things about marriage, being young and married. Being married for 24 years at my young, tender age is kind of rare, in our community. Yeah. And I keep it straight 100. I don't mind sharing and being transparent about challenges and not only that, tools that I use and to progress through those things. But also being an example to girls. I feel like just like the role is for a father to his son, I feel like it's a big responsibility as a mother to her daughters, because I am the first example of what it looks like to be a woman to them. So I took that very seriously, and not always did I know what to do, but I always used my faith
Yes.
to lead me and guide me to making those decisions and to course correct.
Mm-hmm.
So I leave an open forum to my daughters to come to me and to be able to tell me like areas that they believe, they would like to see me to make some improvements, to express to me how they may have had an offense, or just things that they notice, but we can have those candid conversations.
For sure.
So
So we're excited. We're excited to see where this goes. We're excited to grow with you all and to continue to share our stories and our experiences with everyone else. So there'll be a lot more to come, from us, and I think we're ready to roll.
Yeah.
We're ready to do this.
We have things in store for you guys that I think is not only going to be impactful to you, but it's going to really help us.
Yeah.
This is an accountability thing too for us, and to put ourselves out there. I think sometimes you don't realize it, but in order for you to continue to grow to the next level, you got to put yourself out there. And
it starts here.
This is it. This is it.
With that being said, again, my name is Shyann Montgomery.
And I'm Tyree Montgomery.
And this is the Bloom of It All podcast. So we just want to say thank you for spending time with us.
And know that you are not alone and that healing takes time.
It sure does. So until next time, have faith
and keep blooming.
Also, another happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
So thank you guys. We'll see you guys next week.